It is my distinct honor at this time to present to you the 127th Wing Commander, Brigadier General John D. Slocum.
Well, thanks everyone. It's great being here today. Working okay? There it is, a little bit better. Thank you all for being here today. This is a wonderful opportunity that we have to celebrate just some of the excellence that is the 127th Wing. Let me start off today by making a couple introductions. One, in case you haven't met before, up here on the stage with me today is our new Command Chief, effective this drill weekend, Chief Danny Mcdowell. Welcome aboard, buddy. Also changing this weekend, down here in the front row, and I haven't figured out if it's Saturday, Sunday, what, they're arm wrestling about it at this point, but taking over as our new Vice Commander will be Colonel Stan Krasovic. And Colonel Brooks, we're going to have a wonderful opportunity in the upcoming months to say thank you for all your wonderful service, but I'll do it one more time here in public. Thank you for being a great wingman. Also, you'll notice that our flags are currently flying at half-mast. President George Herbert Walker Bush passed away last night, so the flags will be flying at half-mast. A true American hero. In addition to being a president, if you don't know the history, he was an Avenger pilot in World War II, shot down in the Philippine Sea, in the ocean for a couple hours, rescued by a submarine, and spent another month rescuing others while a member of that submarine crew until he could be put ashore. And then I heard he did some great stuff as president too. But in other words, a true American hero, and we're saddened to see him passed, and that is why we have our flags at half-mast today. There you go, good. And I'll start again by reiterating just how proud I am of all of you, the fantastic work this wing does. This is our time at the end of the calendar year just to spend a little time celebrating. But I really do want to thank all the family and friends, especially that are coming in here for our award nominees, for taking the time out on this Saturday to come here this weekend and spend some time with us. So thank you all again. Appreciate it very much. And this is also our weekend where we're going to be saying goodbye to our TAG. Back in Lansing today, there's some ceremonies, but the TAG, General Vadnais, will be coming here, I believe it's on the 18th, to hold a town hall. It's going to be during the week, but we'll make sure that we send out an invitation to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to come in. This will be his last chance to address the 127th Wing, as 8 years is our tenure as our Adjutant General here in the state of Michigan. So look forward to that. Please mark that on your calendars. We'll also get an opportunity to say thank you to him for his wonderful and outstanding service to our state and our nation. I do want to do one thing that I do on most every award ceremony, is we're going to talk about what we've done for the last year, recognize some of the fantastic performers, and this is just a representation of all the fantastic work that goes on across the wing. It is by no means comprehensive, does not cover everything by any stretch of the imagination. These are just some of the superlative performers that we're going to get an opportunity to recognize today. But as we look at the last year, I want to take a moment to always look at the year coming up. Last year we talked about two priorities that we were going to have when it came to readiness and customer service. Well, we're twice as good this year. I'm going to give you four real quickly today, and I'm going to go through them very quick. But the first one's going to be a little bit of a re-echoing of one of the other ones, which is expeditionary readiness. We exist to be warriors. We get paid, we get resourced to fight our nation's wars and defend our country. We always want to make sure that we're ready to do that as an away game. We don't fight our wars here, we do it other places. So we need to be ready to pick up and go, and we need to be ready to do our jobs when we get there. Unlike a lot of the Army Guard that is a strategic reserve, we are an operational reserve, which means we are ready to fight tonight. So we need to make sure that we have things done, we have things ready to go when we need, when our nation calls us to do it. We're going to be sending a lot of people out the door to do our nation's business in the first part of this calendar year coming up. I look for your support, and I look for you to do everything possible to get ready to be able to do your job. So expeditionary readiness and lethality are number one. Next, Joint service. Everywhere we go, everything we do involves working with our other sister services. Whether, you name the different services out there, to include the DHS branch, the Coast Guard, but Navy, Marines, Army, everything we do has to fuse with them. In fact, we're even starting to look a little bit more like them in this process. But the whole idea is that it should be seamless. Whether we're in the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, we should speak the same language, do the same things, have that common understanding, that common culture, so that we can go out and fight together as a unified team with great synergies when we do our jobs. So we need to, especially within our state where we have Army Guard counterparts, let's work and take initiatives to figure out how we can fuse together with them, understand how the Army works, how the Army speaks, and help share our ideas on how we do business with them, not in an adversarial way, but in a way that builds that camaraderie and that understanding so that we can be more effective warfighters. Third thing, we're going to continue to focus on our part-time drill status guardsmen. You are the lifeblood of this organization. You are what makes this organization great and makes it stand out from our active duty counterparts. Our part-time employees, the active duty doesn't have part-time. It is our job as the Guard to make sure that we advocate for our people, that we make sure they have the opportunities that they need, that there's the equivalency of experiences between their civilian world and their military world, that they get proper credit so that we can take every advantage of the strength that is the citizen airman that makes us great. The foot stomper that I always go back to is we are 1/3 of the capability of the United States Air Force at 6% of the cost. And we are that because of you, part-timers. You will notice of just many metrics that we have around here that we're having more and more part-time commanders. My vice commander is going to be a drill status guardsman going forward. We have 6, I believe it is right now, G-series commanders in that are part-timers. We're doing that on purpose. We need to keep our focus where it needs to be to play to the strength of the National Guard and build on that going forward in the future. Our goal is not to look like the active duty. We have the same standards, we meet the same capabilities, but we are different, and we need to play to that strength that we have in the National Guard. My fourth going forward for this next year is what I'm going to call unconstrained innovation, which means just because we've always done it that way does not mean we need to do it that way going forward. I want us to think outside the box. I want us to find new ways to do things, innovative ways to do things, and for gosh sure, if something doesn't add value, let's just stop doing it. I'm going to help you do that. I want you to help me identify things that we can do better, that we can do more efficiently, and this ties right back to what I was saying with our part-time guardsmen. Most of them work in places where they can see how things have worked better, where industry has come up with solutions that the military hasn't embraced. Bring that into our organizations. Let's capitalize on that. Let's do things smarter and better, and don't just accept the status quo. We can take risks. We can make decisions. We can try things that are different. Just let us know and we will empower you, and you're going to help us do the job better going forward. Let's think of new ways to do our old business and to be ready for the future. And all this ties together with the phrase that I like to call being ready today for the challenges of tomorrow. I cannot predict to you what's going to be the problem sets that we're going to have to solve. But if we have ready people with the right motivation, with the right skill set, we'll solve that problem, whatever it happens to be. So as we head into the next calendar year, my challenge to you is being ready today for the challenges of tomorrow, because it's going to be an excellent year as we head into Selfridge's next 100 years. Today, we get to celebrate on this last year of excellence. So now let's turn it back over to Dan and let's get back to our awards ceremony. Thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do.